Welcome to Stories My Mother Told Me. The title of today's story is Olive and Samuel and the Hidden Treasures. Once upon a time, there lived two brothers, Olive and Samuel. They were raised by their poor parents who were farmers. They were really poor that the boys had to take turns to go to school as their parents couldn't afford to send them both to school at the same time. While one is in school, the other helps their parents in the farm, and on market days, they will both skip school and help their parents in the market. On weekends, the boys would study hard, and thereafter, they would go into the forest, exploring and hunting for birds. This was their daily routine. Despite being poor, their parents raised them to be kind and loving towards themselves and everyone around. They were inseparable, known for their unbreakable bonds and shared sense of adventure. The siblings were known throughout the town for their close bond. One day, as they explored the dense woods on the outskirts of the town, their lives took an unexpected turn. They stumbled upon a dusty old chest hidden in the ground. Curious to know the content of the chest, the boys opened the lid and pried into it. Excitement filled their hearts as they discovered the contents. The chest was filled with precious stones, a trove of gold coins, dazzling diamonds, and ancient artifacts. They were dumbfounded at this. They both remained speechless for a moment, and unanimously they screamed at the top of their voices that you could hear the echoes from afar. They quickly hid the chest out of sight. They dug some woods around the area for easy identification. Then they left in so much avidity. On the way home, they deliberated on what to do about the newfound wealth. Olive, the youngest, envisioned using the treasure to improve the lives of their family and the community, so he suggested that they hand the treasure over to their parents and let them decide as a family what to do about it. Samuel, on the other hand, saw the treasure as an opportunity for personal glory and wealth. Greed slowly crept into his heart, clouding his judgment and distorting his priorities. He insisted on keeping this a secret from everyone, including their parents. He argued that their parents' honesty will make them present the treasure to the king, who will most likely keep everything to himself, leaving them poor again. They continued debating along the way, bringing suggestions and turning down suggestions. Everyone who saw them couldn't help but notice the unusual enthusiasm in the boys. As they get closer to their house, they both agreed to keep this a secret for now until they figure out the best way to go about this. Throughout the night, Samuel was wide awake. The prospect of being rich out of the blue seemed like a wild dream. He pictured himself living in the gigantic house with so many servants, surrounded by luxuries and flamboyant decorations. Olive, on the other hand, imagined a life of wealth, but surrounded by his family in happy, wealthy villages. As soon as it was dawn, Samuel hurried to the woods to see the chest and to take out some of the precious stones for himself. On waking up, Olive noticed his brother was gone. Knowing this was unusual, he at once knew where his brother went. So he hurried down there and found Samuel taking some of the treasures and hiding them in his backpack. Samuel convinced him that he was actually bringing the items home for the family. This casted doubt in Olive's heart as he began to question his brother's loyalty, something he has never done before. The walk home was very quiet as they both had unanswered questions in their hearts. As days turned into weeks, Samuel would regularly take out some of the treasures for himself, not even thinking about his family and their poor state. This saddened his brother, and the rift between the siblings widened. Arguments over the treasure escalated, and the once joyous bond began to fray. Their parents now watched in sadness as the siblings drifted apart. They asked several times what the problem was, but none of them would divulge any information. One day, Olive asked his brother that they divide the spoils equally and let each person decide what they will do with their share. This sounded like a plan to Samuel, and they both went to the woods. However, as the brothers stood before the riches, a shadow of greed crept over Samuel. The lure of wealth consumed him, and a dark desire to claim the treasure solely for himself grew within him. He concocted a plan to leave his brother behind and take the treasure for himself. Samuel broke the silence. "Now, tell me, my dear brother, what are you gonna do with your share of the money?" "Well, my innermost intention is for us to spend it together, bettering our lives and helping our neighbors. So it would be great if we did not allow money put a rift between us." "What about you?" asked Olive. "For me, I love to move to the city, buy a big house, hire lots of servants, marry women, and live rich for the rest of my life," Samuel said, with so much excitement. Olive was disappointed, as he had never seen this side of his brother before now. So he wondered if he had always been like this, or he is a living witness to the saying, "If you want to know the true color of a man, give him riches." "Okay," Samuel said. "Before we split the fortune, let's celebrate together." He handed over a drink to his brother, and he also drank from his cup. Soon after consuming the contents, Olive choked and slumped. Samuel immediately took the chest and ran quickly out of the woods. As soon as he was out of sight, Olive stood up immediately, ran after his brother. He grabbed him and they started fighting. Passers-by gathered to separate them, and some went to inform their parents that their grown boys were fighting on the streets. Their mom fainted due to her frail health, and she was taken to the hospital, while their father hurried to the town square where the boys had been taken. In front of everyone, Olive revealed the secret they had been hiding for several months. Everyone was surprised at how much wealth the boys had discovered. The king was notified, and some good-for-nothing people were echoing with a loud voice that the treasures be shared to everyone. After the noise had waned, the king addressed the brothers and the people. "The love of money and power are the most dangerous bait anyone can take. They are powerful enough to destroy even the strongest bond." Everyone had watched the once united brothers now stood on opposite shores of a growing rift because of wealth that neither one of you worked for. My people, dear brothers, in everything that you do in life, let love prevail, as every other thing can thrive in love. Now turning to the villagers, he said, "This treasure doesn't belong to any one of us. It is solely for the brothers who found it. You who are chanting, 'Split the money, split the money,' are you any different from Samuel? So this is a decree of the king. Everything in the chest will be shared equally among the brothers. Let them decide what to do with it. This is final. At this time, Samuel was covered in shame as guilt filled his heart. He apologized to his brother for letting his greedy ambitions get the better part of him. He revealed that his greatest fear about this wealth is being discovered by the king and taken away from them, leaving them poor once again. Hence, he wanted to leave the village. The brothers reconciled and went home happily, super duper rich man. This is story my mother told me. Now, let's take a look at some words we've learned in this story. The first word is super duper. This word is actually informal. It's not a formal word. It means extremely good, powerful, large, very good, marvelous. It could actually mean a lot of different things. For example, super duper big house, super duper rich, super duper beautiful. Can you add on to the list? Super duper rich. All right, add yours to the list. The second word is dazzling. Dazzling. This word means extremely bright, especially so as to blind the eyes temporarily. The sunlight was dazzling, and the diamonds were dazzling. The next word is flamboyant. This word means very confident in your behavior and liking to be noticed by other people. So if you say something or someone is flamboyant, you mean that they are very noticeable, stylish, and exciting. Now tell me, do you know anyone that is flamboyant? The next word is concocted. This word means to create or devise a plan. He concocted a plan to take all the money for himself. And then we've got avidity or avidity. This word means keen interest or enthusiasm, or the quality of being extremely eager or interested, like sort of super excited. And the next word is bait. This word means a food placed on a hook or a trap or fishing area to entice fish or other animals as prey. A question for you. Can you remember how this word was used in the story? Tell me in the comment section. And then the final word for today is slumped. This word means to fall suddenly. Did you learn something new today? There are a lot more new words in the story, but these are the few we picked out. Did you pick out another one? Let us know in the comment section and see you in our next story. Bye! If you enjoyed watching this video, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends as these help us grow. Thank you and see you in our next story. Bye!